Welcome.
Welcome to Marital Hate.
There's somebody already here.
What's up, motherfucker?
How do you know they're a motherfucker? You don't know that.
With any
Be
luck.
a nun.
Why didn't you open the comments? So
because I had to do the thing.
Yeah, my hair is cuckoo tonight. But it looks like last night. Was it super dark or was it just because my glasses were dirty?
It was a little darker. I don't know what the hell was going on last night.
Did we forget to turn these on?
No, those were on.
Well, anyway, welcome to Marital Hate. I'm Stacey. This is Doug.
Hello.
We're married.
Doug.
We do not hate each
Doug.
other, usually. Do you hate me today?
No, not today.
Am I even mildly annoying today?
No, you've been fine tonight.
As opposed to the rest of the days where I'm
Some days. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. You have to be honest. You have to be honest and open.
Is that the albino gecko there, or is that a piece of dust?
That looks like a piece of dust.
All right, I'm gonna see if it's a piece of dust.
What, on the corner?
Yeah. So if you look like
up there.
it's like like the second.
I think that's a little baby gecko.
Well, we'll know if it runs.
She got a little baby gecko. Or it could be just dust. This is how exciting our lives are.
It's a piece of tape.
It's a piece of tape. Oh, all right.
Not-
How did tape get up there?
Not, in fact, an albino gecko.
We're all
For
excited.
Tinka's birthday. You know how
Oh yeah,
I do
remember
nice
that.
things for people who don't appreciate me. Yeah.
Yep.
Another one of
I
those.
remember. I remember.
Anyway, we've had kind of an interesting week. I'm sorry that we didn't podcast last night. I didn't sleep all night.
You don't owe these people an explanation.
No, I feel like I do. I didn't sleep, and then I also spent my entire day with the 2-year-olds. That's right. Once again, we are in charge of America's children.
And that'll wear you out.
The same people that
2-year-old.
talk to you about fisting and
Are trusted with children.
Yeah. We talk about inappropriate things.
Like,
But
all
anyway,
kinds of
my little friend Mace was here yesterday. We had a great time. She was a little cranky. Oh, we had a good time.
Maybe it's 2 days in a row or 2 days of the same week are
No,
too much.
her mom
for her.
said she's been a little crankhead too. Crankhead?
Crankhead.
I don't want to call a child that.
That sounds bad.
But I will say this: we had a lengthy conversation, the 2-year-old and I. And Doug was not happy with the results about which is better, Jeep or Volvo, and she liked the Jeep better. So there you go.
Well, the Jeep reminds me of something. One of those cars they put on like a playground.
Mhm.
It's like just made out of pipes. It has a wheel. That's essentially what the Jeep is. No doors. No
it has
European
back
elegance.
doors on. I don't know why it has back doors on. Somebody keeps
No
putting them
European
back
elegance.
The fuck on.
You know, if those doors weren't on, you couldn't take your little friends to Dig Darling the other day. You can't put a baby seat and like no doors.
Did you just burp like
I did. I'm sorry.
salami?
I did. 'Cause I'm drinking and
Just be glad it's not smell-o-vision. Okay, well, I don't know what to say.
You can
I had
use
originally
one.
planned to take the Volvo, but the mom was like, okay, we're going to take the Jeep, right? And I'm like,
well, here's
I'd rather take the Jeep. It's starting to get a little cold to take kids out in the Jeep.
yeah.
Soph was cold on the way back, but I gave her your blanket and she was happy. Thank you
Yeah,
to
it's
Doug's
cozy.
former employer
It's cozy.
for one of the 8 blankets.
Driving the
that we
fives.
have.
Driving the fives.
This is mildly concerning that it has water. I'm going to dump it out so we don't dump it on our laptops. It's been out for like a month. So we are officially the nice old people in our neighborhood.
Nice old.
He's the crankpuss.
I'm yelling at people to get off my lawn. No, I'm not.
No, but
Sort
like
of.
one day he was like, I can't give you snacks every day.
Can you come back every
So
day?
there's a group of kids, and hopefully they don't watch the podcast.
but now
because
I
it's
like
definitely
them.
not appropriate for kids. Chris, Sebastian, and Zach, who popped by. Zach is the most frequent visitor, and apparently the bus didn't come this morning, and so I gave the kids a ride to school.
So 3 different kids, Zach and 2 other kids,
Tyler and I forget the other kid's name.
show up.
Nice kids, very polite.
Hey, can we have a ride to school?
We
Our
rocked
bus
out
didn't show up.
to Spanish music that I did not understand a freaking word of. I'm like, what are they talking about? And he's like, oh, this guy who's with all
So-
these women. And I'm like, well, that's not good.
Well, here's the thing. So these kids come to the door.
This is hilarious.
I need a drink. So we bought
Yeah,
some water. We bought special Kirkland
Now
water,
they're
whatever.
like, can we have
Like,
a snack?
we didn't eat anything. Do you got anything to eat? And all we have is like nuts and berries and like
hippie
twigs.
food. And like if we knew
supplements.
people are coming for dinner, we would order takeout. Doug's like burnt out as it is, just like cooking. Like we want to have people over and stuff, but it's like Doug's so exhausted. Like
if I could cook and like plan and like, yeah, I mean I could, but
if I
whatever.
was healthy enough to do any of that, but like we're not. No, we'll take you to a restaurant.
So anyways, these kids show up.
So the first time they wanted drinks, and then we gave them drinks, and then we found out that they like water better than seltzer, which
So-
we have seltzer in our house because we're not like kid friendly anymore. We eat what we eat. And then one day I gave one kid a Dr. Pepper because I didn't have enough waters for the 6 kids that needed water that day. And then one day I gave him popsicles. And then one day I gave Chris a keto bar. So he's like, do you have any more keto bars? I'm like, no, not for everybody. So and now they're asking for food and then dinner. It just keeps ramping up.
They're a lot like seagulls.
You know what,
they're a lot like seagulls. You give them a French
us,
fry and then you got 50 million seagulls at
I already told them to keep practicing their sports because we don't have any money for college. We have money for college.
So here's the thing: they don't know us. They don't even know our names.
No, but today when they came to the door, I was like, I'm like, okay, they're late for school, and I didn't really. And I'm like, is it cool with your moms? And they're like, oh, absolutely. And I'm
they're
like,
all
in
at work.
retrospect, I'm probably going to prison. I'm probably going to get reported for child abduction. Don't get me wrong. It's like 2 miles away, like right down the street, drove the kids to school. But
behind Target.
Like afterwards, I'm like, oh, fuck. I should have gotten like written authorization from the parents in case something happened.
See, now if they were teen girls and I drove them to school.
Kids show up at your door.
30 years
so to life. Here's the thing. Herein lies the thing. We are parents. We have 6 grown children.
Yeah. And
whatever. And by the way, these kids think we're the nice old people on the block.
Yeah, we are the nice old people.
We're the nice old people. Old. I'm 47, but to these kids, like we're like elderly. And plus we're home all the time. So it's confusing.
Well, here's the thing. That makes somebody else on the block. The mean old people.
Oh no, you're the mean old guy. But I'm like, he's nice. He's grouchy, but he likes to play football. And he's got a good arm for an old white guy. But like we helped. I drive the one neighbor to work. I watched kids this week. I gave kids a ride to school. I gave them snacks, gave them drinks, gave them fruit and nut packs.
Fruit and nut packs? Well, like you like fruit and nut pack? Cheese? Sure. So I gave them. Off they went.
They were very nice.
They're
always very polite, but I like seriously. I need to be like,
I'm wondering if
written authorization.
Yeah, right. To be driving them. That's
well, if God forbid I got in a car accident.
Yeah, well,
like what the hell are you doing with these kids? Who are these children? I have no idea. I literally have no idea who these children are. They showed up at my house. I know one of them's first name. I was told one of their other name. Like seriously, one
of them's 8th grade, one of them's 7th grade. I don't know what the other one was.
Well, Zach's girlfriend's in 8th grade. Here's the crazy thing: the other kid that randomly joined our family back in Massachusetts is still part of our family to this day. Also Zach. So if your name is Zach and you want to be part of our family, apparently. Knock yourself the fuck out.
So here's the other thing. So 3 o'clock comes around, whatever. Knock at the door. I'm like,
which one forgot the door? Which one forgot it?
The kid with the mustachy, kind of that kid.
So did you ask him his name?
Kid. I don't remember his name.
He's the one that put the Spanish music on that I didn't understand. But the word of.
He left his jacket in the car.
And then you gave him drinks again.
Randall's back.
What's up, Randall?
Randall, Liberia. Welcome back.
I always forget which one's from Morocco and which one's from Liberia.
Randall's Liberia.
And then Osama was from Morocco. I've been telling everybody about you, Randall. I'm very excited about you. So yeah, I had strange children here. So that was fun.
We were being nice to people today, and
I'm going to be a bitch again tomorrow.
Well, it's Saturday. There's no school, so if they ask you for a ride to school, they might.
No, next time some random child shows up and asks me for a ride somewhere, I'm going to require at least a text message from the parents.
All right. And Tracy's here. She says, hi, peeps. Hope everybody's feeling better back at the ranch. Hopefully everybody's good. Randall said, thank you. Randall, we don't even know. It's like 5 hours ahead of us there. That's
it's like Saturday morning.
Yeah. So
hope you're having a good weekend.
Yeah, we should be like cartoon-like a Saturday morning cartoon.
I think there were like the least like Saturday morning cartoons that you could possibly have. I will say this. I've had some cannabis, which I don't know that that's legal in Liberia, but I will be high in the near future. Trace's house is closing with no inspection. She's pretty fucking happy about that. And she's getting there. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody's getting
starting
healthy.
To feel better. I talked to Ann today. Elias is feeling better. I think Ann's a little burnt out. My hot ass neighbor's a little burnt out. Like, I think everybody's just, it's funny because last week we were burnt out. This week still, but not that bad. And everybody else seems to be having
the good thing about this week, it went by quick. But I was actually thinking, it's like,
why did this week go by quick?
I have no idea. 4 hours ahead.
That's not bad. 4.
Randall.
Sure, it's like midnight.
Wow,
dude.
Nice. Yeah. What are you doing with this? It's not that exciting to be
handsome young man. Shouldn't you be out on the town?
I want to know more about life in Liberia. Like, what's fun to do in Liberia? What kind of music do you guys listen to? Is there is there Wi-Fi? I don't know.
Tell us everything we need to know about Liberia. We're telling you probably things that you don't need to know about America. Is really what it comes down to.
And
But
Todd
here
is
we are.
here. We haven't heard from. Well, we
Todd,
have.
what's up,
Todd was around,
motherfucker?
but yes,
He pokes in and out.
Yeah,
He's had
good
a
to
lot
have
going
him.
on. I actually
Oh
need to
yeah,
reach
yeah.
out. But
How's the mom?
I don't know what's going on. But I pray for them every day. I have been kind of under a rock and haven't really talked to anybody. As a matter of fact, I texted Darce today and never really heard about how the kids were doing. I talked to Christina very briefly, talked to Zach briefly.
And Donna
pretty much
is here as well.
Donna's
She
here.
says hello. Donna will be here
live on your page.
Yeah.
Donna is going to be here soon. Donna, check out. We have new friends from Liberia.
And yeah, we have. This is exciting because we've built a little community, and now we have people from overseas and Africa. That's fantastic.
So people we haven't.
We're going worldwide.
So people, most of the people here have become friends with one another. So you might make some friends. So yeah, we're the nice old people on the street. Now this was not today, but I thought it would be just entertaining you guys, the kind of conversations that happen when you're not here. So I write things down, throughout the course of the days as I think of things for the podcast. And of course, last week we didn't do a lot of podcasts and I had a lot of ideas.
Right.
And then this week we did the podcast and I went through some of the ideas, but some of these notes are old. And some of them, as I read them, I may not know what the fuck they mean.
Tom is also here.
Tom Milmore's here. What's up, Todd?
Tom was in Florida, wasn't he seeing the Darkness, which is the last great rock and roll band on the planet. And
Donna says, saw that the other day, but the podcast was in and out.
Oh.
You know what? I think Anne had the same problem.
Yeah, she did.
But she was on YouTube.
Yeah.
So who knows? But I will say the other day, Doug just turned to me, looked at my face and said, "Your puss is showing."
It's not uncommon.
Because I'm almost always wearing something unladylike, and I don't wear underwear because I find them to be uncomfortable. It's really odd that I'm even wearing what I'm wearing right now.
I honestly,
speaking of newness,
I honestly don't remember.
Shout out to Art and Michelle. Hope they're doing well. So in any case, my puss was showing. Sometimes it happens.
I don't even remember it. That's how often it happens around here. Folks.
I will tell you this: I need to shave it in my legs, but take a look. Is it gruesome? Do I look like I need like?
Oh, it's like a muskox and a woolly mammoth down there.
That's not true. Don't quote Musk Dicky. Because it's smart. Look at it.
No, I'm not gonna look at
my puss.
No, it's what? I don't look. You're showing it to the world.
Take a picture. Of it.
She's taking a picture, folks. Maybe she'll send it to one of
I
you,
don't know how
and you'll be the lucky recipient.
I want to know how hairy it is.
Oh, there's an owl coming, and the owl thinks it's a muskox or a woolly mammoth.
It's not a woolly mammoth fighting with a muskox down there.
One of the great lines from Musk
You can't
Dicky,
even see anything.
Which is our.
It looks shaved.
Looks like a dark parking lot. Someone's getting mugged.
There's vacancies. Anybody interested? Old man's been pissing me off. How about that?
Looks like Batman's going to drive out of here.
You're never getting laid again. And I have sexual needs. So I'm going to find somebody else to fuck. Thank you very much. Anybody? Got a friend?
Got a friend.
Perhaps. I'll make a list of names.
That likes bats.
Dudes I find to be sexually attractive.
Baldies. Old guys.
When you
Terry
say
Bradshaw.
Baldies, it doesn't come across the way you think it does.
Anyway, all right. So my wife likes to take pictures of her junk.
I do not.
And yeah.
I do not.
So
I have all these things.
All right, go ahead.
So I have a community service road trip.
Community service road trip?
That
sounds like a mission.
I don't know what the fuck I was talking about, but that sounds like a good time.
Excellent.
Like a road trip that you do for community service. I don't know how you do that, but that's what I was saying that I wanted to do when we win the lottery.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All this stuff is contingent on lottery.
When we win the lottery, I'd like to do a community service road trip where we travel and do nice things around the country. Like help people to be able to grow their own food, bring natural health to different communities.
I think that's fantastic.
Empower people to help themselves.
Tracy says LMFAO. This is a very good and very comical. And Gary Stromberg, what's up, G? I'm telling you, my wife has a sexual thing for Terry Bradshaw.
Said Terry Bradshaw, LOL. And the reason why Doug said Terry Bradshaw is during my pregnancy with my second pregnancy. Well, not counting my miscarriage. During my pregnancy with my daughter Anastasia, I had frequent dreams about Terry Bradshaw, and at one point, sex dreams about Terry Bradshaw and Dennis Rodman at the same time. So there was not like I woke up before anything happened because I'm terrified of big dicks, but Not that Doug's dick isn't big, it's just not monstrous. Like it's, slightly above average. I like it. Works just right. I find it to be a little big sometimes, but not monstrous. And I am unfortunately or fortunately as it is, just racist enough to think that all black dicks are ginormous and I should be afraid of them.
My new nickname, not monstrous. You know what I'm going as for Halloween?
Actually, it's
not
funny
monster.
because we have two friends that have spoke on the podcast frankly about their penis size. One of them has a very small penis, and one of them has a very big penis.
Don't use your thumb.
I don't know the exact size.
Well, don't use your thumb.
Okay,
like
one came on the podcast and told everyone he had
he's
a small penis.
He's a brave man,
which means he's got massive testicles. But our other friend, I have another friend whose dick I have seen. And I think I've seen both their dicks, to be honest with you. But one of them was in 1994, and one of them was in the 2000s. One of them was less impressive than the other. So
Gary says, "I'm sorry, Doug."
Wait,
don't be sorry.
It gets worse. So, but here's the thing about it. My friend who came on the podcast and talked about having a small penis gets puss thrown at him left and right.
Yes.
And my friend with the monster dong
because you're a good guy
can't get laid. Well, yes.
Well,
yes.
I guess apparently, folks. It's good to be under this tall to ride the ride. Todd White says, send the pic to a blind guy for an honest opinion. LOL. Well, send him a picture of a cactus. That would be hysterical.
See, here's the thing. If you were here, I'd just let you do like the braille because there's really nothing to see. It's just like a little peach fuzz. But like, I don't know if you know this. I'm Portuguese, right? So I'm half Portuguese. And every once in a while I'll get like a black hair. But this shit, like I'm like a monkey, but it's white. So you can't see anything. My eyebrows, I have to color this shit in. It's right there.
Tracy says her penis is purple. Sometimes they get that way.
Vibrators almost invariably come in purple.
They're almost always purple.
Almost always, right?
Remember the ones from the 70s? They used to have the ad, the girls holding it up to her face. Do you remember that?
Dude, I don't know, but I'm thinking that the Theragun might be my next go-to. I'm just going to get myself a great big dildo and shove it on the end of the Theragun.
Osama is back.
Osama.
What's up, Morocco?
How is
worldwide?
That even possible? What's up, Osama? You've been missing.
We also want to know what you do for fun in Morocco. It sounds like a blast.
Friday night in Morocco.
They're in all. We know they're all in different colors.
You have to read the comment out loud because eventually these will be on audio. So it says, "Oh, they are all in all different colors." Yes, but the vast majority are purple, in my experience.
Flesh tone.
I have bought. Well, and here's the thing. I prefer the color purple in general.
Yes, so you wish your Jeep was purple.
Yes, I do.
You wished I was purple, like purple crayon.
You get a little purple sometimes. Mostly helmet. He's pink and white and gray.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A gray man. But I bought that Tracy's dog one, not to be confused with our friend Tracy's dog.
Does she have? She doesn't have a dog.
The review on this thing is actually hilarious. I should pull it up.
Named Brady.
I actually did not find this vibrator to be the most comfortable of vibrators, but
now you know, folks. Now you know.
Sometimes
listen, our viewership is going through the roof though with all this.
Well, if you read vibrator reviews out loud on the internet.
All right, so far we've talked about vibrators and my wife taking pictures of her downstairs area.
I did take a picture of my downstairs area.
So far it's
for $29.99 you can have a copy. What? We have bills to pay.
You.
What?
Hey, anyway, the money comes in is probably good, except for illicit, illegal things.
All right, I got to read this review.
So here's my wife reading reviews.
I wish I could do it in a soothing voice, like a I don't know who has a soothing voice.
Vincent Price.
Well, you can do voices. Here, you do it with one of your voices. Which voice are you gonna do
it with? Hello. Wow, just wow. Oh wow, just wow. No, that's
you have to be a lady.
Having read everyone's reviews, I had high expectations, but with the price being under $50, I wasn't exactly going to be shocked if it was mediocre. You like okra?
Yeah.
A few friends of mine bought it recently, told me of its power. I was warned to take the day off, hydrate, and above all, do some stretches. I thought they were being trauma queens. It was delivered within 2 days of ordering. This is somebody from the shop. So I was already off to a good start, opening the discreet box. This is somebody from the manufacturer.
Can you just read the fucking thing and do it quicker than you're doing it?
Instructions say 2.5 hour charge time. Not too bad, but I'll plug this little bad boy in. While the kids are at school and waiting for a charge, killing time reading some erotica my friend fellow Queenie recommended because I don't have time to screw around waiting to get in the mood. We have the kids in a few hours, and I need to get ready to go when this thing is done charging. TikTok, bitch, TikTok, welcome to motherhood. Patiently waiting. Me is checking to see if the light has stopped blinking every 10 minutes, like a crackhead waiting for his dealer. And after an hour and a half, solid pink light, game on.
I played with the settings on my hand to test the fine machinery out. The vibration for the G-spot part is quite strong. I was impressed with that even before use. Next was the suction. So many levels. It was interesting to see different patterns and strength. There are 10 levels for clitoral and 10 patterns for G-spot. I've never used a clit suction type stimulator, so I have nothing to compare it to. But I look forward to it nonetheless. Time to solo party. I found placement on the clit a bit low for my body shape. Yeah. It is. It's too low. You spend your first 10 minutes trying to get this thing in fucking place.
They tested it on children.
What is wrong with you? It took me a few minutes to get everything where it needed to be. That was a bit time consuming and slightly frustrating. I don't need to be more sexually frustrated when I've gotten to the point in my week where I have to use a fucking sex toy.
That's been tested on children and rabbits.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, God.
But as with any new toy, it's trial and error. I don't believe that's true. I had the Luna vibrator, that thing, you just put that on your clit and you're good to go. I started the clit one on low, which I barely even felt. It's because she's been jackhammering away on herself every time the kids walk out the door.
With a hand blender.
She's like putting on Bluey. Kids, I'll be right back. You watch Bluey. P.S. I'm learning about things.
You can watch a cinder block in the washing machine.
And Paw Patrol. She sits there, puts on Bluey, reads a little erotic fiction while the children watch television. She's like, look, kids, Paw Patrol's on. Mommy, we'll be right back. Okay. Unbeknownst to me, it wasn't lined up 100%.
Oh, no. Oh, goodness me.
Dude, it's okay. It's bad enough men can't find a clitoris. When you can't find your own clitoris, you have fucking problems. If you can't find your own clitoris with an apparatus, you need medication.
Men across the globe.
You know what? I'm not a fan of pharma, but if there's a pharmaceutical medication that will help women who cannot find their clit, put them on that.
It's like dye tablets.
Take them off the antidepressants. Take them off the antidepressants that they're on and put them on the clit finding medication, because that's going to solve all their fucking problems. Maybe just teach men a nice class. I'm ready to spread my legs and show everyone in America and Liberia and Morocco where clitoris is. It's the man in the canoe.
Greetings.
Anyway.
Anna's here, says welcome. Osama says greeting from Tangier. We love Tangier.
Tangier? Oh, that's right, because that's in Morocco.
Yeah.
Port
City.
Unbeknownst to me, me being me, I decided to go from 0 to 60 in 3.5. I hit the suction button setting for level 5 or 6 and hit the G-spot button as well, and made a minor adjustment on the suction placement. At least that's what I think happened, because I'm pretty sure I blacked out. My legs went straight out like those goats who faint when they're scared. I never came so fast and so hard in my life. I squirted. I've never done that. Luckily, I put a towel down because I hate wet spots. Maybe the reason you can't come is because you hate wet spots. Calm the fuck down, lady. It's just a wet spot.
Yeah,
it'll dry.
Karen. Wet Karen.
Oh my God. I frantically tried to turn it off, but ended up hitting the buttons like a maniac, sending an even stronger suction and now variant pulses to the G-spot vibrator, and came again. I'm pretty sure I levitated. It was an unending orgasm. This time my soul left me and God himself said, child, it is not your time. Go back to the little pink light. Mind you, I'm agnostic. I brought back into my earthly body after managing to pull it off me and throwing it across my bed as it falls on the floor, still buzzing happily away. I shook for a good 5 minutes. I couldn't get up off the bed even if I wanted to. I stared at the ceiling, dazed, trying to remember who I am and what year this is. I get up to clean up and realize the seizure-like orgasms I had hurt my hip and back. I'm still hobbling 4 hours later. I did not stretch enough. So in conclusion, this met and exceeded expectations. Hydrate and make sure you don't have to do anything that involves decisions or brain power for the rest of the day. And for the love of God, stretch like you are about to run the 500-meter dash. Now, it's $45.99. Guess what the first color it comes in is? Motherfucker, purple. But I'm going to say this. Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
I know you want to tell me things, but I'm going to say this. I am grateful for the fact that I don't have to fumble with that ridiculous little gadget for an hour to get myself off. I'd like to thank you very much for your apt performances.
Thank you. Apt. I will say this.
Trying to inflate your ego, especially since I don't even remember last time we had sex was. It was like last weekend.
I don't know. It's a crazy week.
Jesus Christ! I'm like, no wonder.
I will say this.
It's covering itself over in fur.
Teach a man to fish.
I don't want fish to be compared to my vagina.
And eat all day. I will say this, that I am 100.
Teach a man to fish and he will eat all day.
Yeah, whatever that Bible quotation is.
That is. Not
I will say that I believe that 900% that was written by the manufacturer.
Hey, listen. If it's written by the manufacturer, shout out to the manufacturer for a brilliant PR move.
The reviews on Amazon for what are they? The sugar-free gummy bears.
What about people shitting themselves?
Hysterical.
Funny.
Absolutely hysterical.
I had something that I wanted for my birthday, but I don't know what that was. And I never really get anything.
You already have one of those.
It doesn't really do much. This is a cool idea. So instead of having a baby shower where people buy you gifts, or maybe in addition to, because having a baby is a big deal.
Yeah, you got a baby.
I want to say this.
At the end of this,
normally what happens is you get pregnant and everybody's super excited. You make the pregnancy announcement, you do cute photo shoot, whatever. Everybody's trying to come up with a cute, like cheeky one. Then you have the gender reveal, which Doug hates, by the way.
No,
and then you have a baby shower. And then you have the baby. Maybe some people come to the hospital, they visit you, and maybe some people bring you casseroles. But if you have a second kid, you're fucked. You're lucky if you get a sprinkle where they give you like 3 things. That's not the world we live in anymore. Like the baby shit changes from year to year. And do you know how much a fucking stroller is? Some of these things are like $1,000. My first car
now
cost
they
$500.
fold up to be like a little ball.
No, they're like, because if you like, listen, I can understand if you don't have a car,
yeah,
and you're going to be schlepping your kid on the subway and like, then spend some money on a stroller. But like my purposes were like, take the kid to the mall or like, whatever. And I like to put the kids in the backpack or let them walk, but that's not the point. So what I think, and I saw this on TikTok and I thought it was a brilliant idea. Instead of having a baby shower, they had a nesting party.
Ooh.
So what they did is, how you're at that stage where you're about to pop it, you want to clean your entire house.
Yes.
You have all your friends over.
And they clean your house.
And you have a list for them and they divide and conquer and they take care of it. Here's what I think should happen. You're a woman. You get pregnant.
Tough
you
luck,
do your
lady.
You do your announcement. Sorry. You do your announcement.
Yep.
Your announcement. It's either cute or really bad, and we make fun of you.
And then shut the hell up about the gender. You find out
you do your gender thing. It's to build up to
whatever.
Listen, I like any excuse to celebrate. And here's the thing about gender reveals: everybody can drink, except the fucking pregnant chick. So, and they're inviting you over, so I think they have to feed you booze. All right, so here's my thing. Okay, gender reveal. You have them over to your house, but you have to provide the alcohol for everybody because they're going to do some other things.
Pregnant lady goes into a packy.
Have a baby shower, and everybody's going to get you what you need. You're going to have a nesting party, and everybody's going to do what you need to do. And I think this woman had her nesting party in lieu of a baby shower, so it was just women. That's fucking stupid. Okay, stop burping salami. Go in the house and get a mitt. So here's my thing: instead of just having your girlfriends come, have everybody come, because then you could get your whole house remodeled.
Contractors.
Remember the nursery and Father
Roofers.
of the Bride? Do you remember the nursery and Father of the Bride Part 2?
No.
He put like a whole addition on the house that had like French doors out to a Juliet balcony. It was craziness. So, but I know, I think like, the nursery has to be painted and usually you have to declutter stuff. And there's probably things you want to baby proof. Like that's a great time to have like a big old party. Like everybody just does their shit. And then, and I think that people should, maybe not go to the hospital, but like come by with casseroles. You come by with the casserole, you get the whole baby casserole, baby. But you can't be sick. You gotta wash your hands.
Just leave the casserole at the front.
And you're gonna see some titty, by the way.
Nobody wants.
You go to a woman's house.
Small talk.
You go to a woman's
leave
house
the casserole.
Who just had a baby. She's probably wearing granny panties with like a maxi pad the size of a goddamn diaper, and she's got her tits all hanging out, swollen. She's exhausted. She hates everyone. She's been ripped from
stem to stern.
She's a hot fucking mess, and her titties are out because she's
just
trying to
feed
her baby.
Outside.
So you might
Ring
see
the bell.
that. Actually, when
like
I had my
DoorDash.
twins, we had someone come and visit us for like 5 days. The twins were like 3 days old. And
why on earth would somebody do that?
Anyway, I had to feed the twins, and so I wasn't going to do them one at a time just because somebody randomly showed up at my house. I'm like on my couch feeding my newborn babies. I'm like, this is the worst possible time for an unannounced house guest just suddenly there for 4 days. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't even remember his name.
Some dude.
I think his name was actually Doug.
Wasn't me.
Hilarious. That would have been weird. So I don't know. That's what I think you should do. And then I think that there should be something for like. Actually, this is a really funny thing that happened today. So my hot ass neighbor Jen.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, their daughter's 2.5, and she's just starting to be a challenge. I mean, she's always been strong-willed, but she's getting to be more challenging now.
Yeah.
And I said, it's not the terrible 2s, it's the terrible 3s. And she's like, yeah, I know, I'm in for it. And she's like, stop that. That's the one that she always says, stop that. Yeah, and like, there's something about like no coming out of a child. It's like, okay, like that's your favorite word, no. But something about stop that.
Yeah.
Like stop that feels like, okay.
It's like a little more controlling.
Like this is, stop that like makes me think that you feel like you're being like non-consensually like, that just makes me feel creepy. So
hang on a sec.
Tracy has a sentence, though.
But Tracy has a comment.
A three-nager, yes, but I was in the middle of a sentence. So yes, that's what they call them, three-nagers. So I said to her, I said, your this is what happens when you change the subject. When you're wait till you have teenagers. And she's like, oh, I know. I never laughed so hard in my fucking life.
Well, that's why I brought the comment up, because it was germane to the
I understand that. Yeah. But,
didn't change the subject.
Well, but I was in the middle of a sentence.
Okay. I thought it was germane. I thought it was germane to your fact that you were talking about. It is
germane, but let me finish my sentence before you cut me off.
Whatever.
So, not whatever.
I'll just keep my funny comments to myself.
I'm not saying keep your funny comments to yourself. I'm saying let me finish my sentence.
Okay. All right.
When I tell you how I feel, don't say whatever and blow me off, or I will drown you.
So
I will drown you in the fucking pool right now.
So you're telling a story about how this woman was a child.
I'm not going to hash the discussion because it's stupid to have us just like argue on the podcast.
All right. Well,
so can I finish the story and get back on the track?
Ahead. Yes.
Thank you. So she said that she knew about teenagers. I just never laughed so hard in my life because you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. The pure hell. You see, here's the thing. 3-year-olds are a nightmare. And what happens is like God's like, okay, so here's the thing. You suffered through newborns, but he's so cute and cuddly, but that's fucking hell because you're not sleeping at all and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, at least the first time. And so then you get the 3-year-old, which is like so terrible, and you think you're gonna die. And if you survive that and the kid survives, you get about 9 years of bliss.
Because you can drop them off at Cub Scouts or something.
They're
like
fun.
That.
They want to do stuff with you. They want to learn stuff. They might ask a lot of questions, but they're just genuinely great from like 4 to like 11, 12. And then, so that's like God's giving you a little break in there. And then you spend the rest of your life recovering from dealing with teenagers. Here we are, still recovering from it to this day. And we are no longer having any teenagers.
No, not for a while.
Technically not any teens, because Nolan just turned 21. He's the baby. So
hasn't been a teen for a while.
So herein lies the thing.
Yeah.
I have my good friend Christina's parents are getting older, and she does things to help them. And we've had a chuckle or two about how some of the problems she has with her children, who are adults, are similar to the problems that she has with her parents. Same problems I had with my teenagers, and
who
that
are
the
also
parents.
Adults.
Basically, what happens is now your senior citizen parents become teenagers, and then eventually toddlers again.
Yeah, it's like Benjamin Button.
I don't know. I don't know
Benjamin
how.
Button in reverse.
And I don't know what happens. Like, do you get another break again, and then you're just spending the rest of your life waiting to die at that point, which is what we're doing because we're the nice old people. We're the nice old people on your street.
Waiting for a bolt of lightning. There's an owl.
There's a boring owl that's going apeshit out there.
I learned.
Your parents didn't get old, so you didn't get to do that.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I learned a fact about a burrowing owl today.
What's that?
If you threaten it, sometimes it will make a noise like a rattlesnake.
If you keep making that much noise, I'm gonna put a T outside.
Which I think is genius. And sometimes they will fight. Yeah,
no,
that's not really a threat. You're saying I'll put a T out front, which is his home.
I know, but I said it in an aggressive way, and he doesn't speak English.
Oh.
Incidentally, I'm impressed that our friends from Liberia and Morocco speak English.
Yeah, well, Liberia is
the national language.
I believe that's what we determined last week. That was very fun learning more about other people's places. So anyways, they will either, if you approach them or attack them, they will make the noise like a rattlesnake. They will either flatten on the ground and try to blend in, or they will fight you. Apparently, the ones in Cape Coral here, they want to fight you.
Our rat guy got attacked. We had a our pest guy. We call him Mr. Rat Guy because there was palm rats in the attic when we moved in, and that was a fun night. First night, they came and took him away, but he was awesome. We love Wes. He comes all the time now, but he's been attacked by burrowing owls more than once, and he fucking hates them.
He lost his hat. But I think that like there's like city pigeons, or like city seagulls or whatever. Like they're just meaner. City rats would be meaner than ones out in the country or whatever. I think that's like the same because we're technically a city.
Well, these are palm rats, right? So I don't.
Well, I was talking about the owls. The owls they're a meaner breed.
I don't know. I think you really can't judge owls by all owls. You have to talk to the individual owl.
The individual owl.
And then you need to have a little compassion for the owl and understand that its life experiences have brought it to where it is today. Don't judge an owl until you walked a mile in its shoes or flown a mile in its wings or whatever.
That'd be impressive to see something like that big. Oh, there was a spoonbill on Fort Myers Beach today. A pink spoonbill.
A spoonbill is a bird with a bill that looks like a spoon, and it's pink.
Hence the name.
We saw birds flying one day coming back from Pine Island. I thought that they were flamingos, but then I found out about spoonbills, so now I don't really know. But it looked like there was black on the tips, and spoonbills do not have the black that flamingos have.
I have the picture.
Oh, can you zoom? Oh no, you're never gonna find it. That's
I know exactly when the date was.
You might, but like it's gonna take you 10 minutes to find it, and it'll be like do 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 do. Okay, so there's so when we went to Ding Darling the other day.
Yes.
So Jim was there at the gate. Shout out to Jim at the gate.
What's up, Jim?
Ding Darling.
We love Jim.
I hope you do not watch this podcast.
He looks like Kenny Rogers.
Dude, that's like my answer to most things is I hope these people do not watch this podcast. In any case, we went down and the Jeep's making a fucking racket. Shout out to Tony Rodriguez coming next week to replace the seals and the exhaust on the Jeep. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're doing the seals too?
Yeah.
Nice.
We're just gonna get it all fucking done.
Let's get it all done. I'm gonna get under there.
Well, because I got to get the charge. I got to put so much on that charge card to get the 2,000. So our bonus, basically, I have to put $8,000 on this credit card in 2 months. Well, our rent alone is $2,300. 2,300 times 2. So now I had to just come up with $4,000. If our groceries are $1,000 each, our car insurance is something, our internet, whatever, cell phones.
I'm gonna buy me some
strippers.
Some internet cocaine. Charge it right to the
maybe but the Jeep repairs will probably be about $1,500, so that'll put us over the top, and that $2,000 we will then use to pay for the Jeep or whatever.
Well, I'm telling you, $2,000 to get that seal done in the muffler.
It's not even gonna be $2,000; it'll be $1,500.
That's a bargain.
He does a great job. He comes right to the house. Highly recommended. Although I think we got to pull the Volvo out so we can get to the garage, and we still need to deal with the Volvo tires.
Tires have those aluminum rims and they kind of leak. The seals aren't real great.
So apparently you can have the seals replaced, and there's a tire guy in town that does it. We got the name and the number we never called. So that is
Tire guy.
Credit card points. Tire guy. Oh, Ding Darling. So we're going through, and so the Jeep, the muffler's making a racket. So we're not seeing a ton, but we saw a big ring in the pond, like big, and it looked like a gator had just gone down. And then we saw a shitload of the sideways jumping fish.
Yes, these fish jump out of the pond.
Clear out of the water sideways.
Like they're evading a predator.
Yeah, and then it's probably gators. And then we saw like a couple of iguanas, a couple of cool ass birds, green heron, blue heron, of course ibis up the yang, and then there was a few other birds. And we were like making a racket, and people were trying to take pictures, so I drove past. But and then no, seriously, it really was. And then we went out on the water and saw one bird flew right by Jen. Like, but when we came out, we got out and walked on one of the little causeways. It's like a short one now. They basically stick out like, I don't know, 12 feet.
Yeah.
But we get back to the car and there's this one leaf. So like maybe this far in from the curb where the grass is tall. Mm-hmm. And there's just this one leaf going. And I'm like, there's a fucking rattlesnake in there. I wanted to know. I was like, I literally said, I wish Doug was here. Because I feel like you'd be like,
I'd go over there and say, crikey. What a beauty.
Why would one leaf just be going?
Bug.
A very big bug? It was a big leaf, by the way. It was a big leaf.
Like a fern.
It was like
Yeah,
a blade
I
of
don't know,
glass.
It could have been a lizard.
like a
it could have
fat
been anything.
br-
A bird.
It was like a fat blade of grass, about an inch and a half wide, tapering up. Probably about that tall. So what's that? About a foot.
I can't tell you from that description whether it was a rattlesnake or
I'm talking about the leaf, not the animal.
Be quiet then.
I couldn't see the animal because there were surrounding leaves. I don't tell them burrowing
Surrounding
on
area. I'm trying to threaten him.
So I thought that was cool. We recently watched. We watched parts of it. We never finished it. Great film, fun for the whole family.
Oh geez.
The People Under the Stairs.
Oh,
Wes Craven. Great film.
That's a pretty good one.
Really great film. You may remember, you Gen Xers may remember the character Rayanne from My So-Called Life. She was on with Claire Danes. She is in that movie. The chick that was in Summer School, who was dyslexic, with Mark Harmon, she was in it. And what's the guy? The black guy he was married to what's her name?
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames is in it. And Ving Rhames has some of the best lines ever in that movie.
Were you going to say Omarosa because he was not married to?
Who's the one that was married to?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, okay. I don't even know who that is. I do enjoy these very large, bald, attractive men, but if you are that big as a dude, like, you got to have a monster dong. I don't care like what color you are.
Or maybe you have a regular size dong. It just looks tiny.
Here's something I looked up on the internet that's crazy. So I don't know why I looked this up. I do know why I looked it up. I was at 7-Eleven. And so a lot of mornings I go to 7-Eleven. We've talked about this a million times. I'm going to tell it one more time. I buy the green juice. And the green juice in the cooler at 7-Eleven is organic. It comes from Turkey, so you don't know how fresh it is, obviously, because it's cold pressed organic juice from Turkey. And maybe
I thought you said it was made out of turkey.
No. And maybe the Turkish government, much like the Chinese government, isn't exactly overseeing their food to see if it's actually organically grown. But I like to believe it is. And if you buy things from the cooler and you're a 7 Rewards member, you get more money off your gas. Got it? Okay. So what I'll do is on my way home, I will grab 4 green juices because they're usually 2 for $5. I buy 4, gets me through 2 days. And 2 days later, I go buy more. So, but it happens to be that the time that I get there in the morning after dropping my neighbor off at work is when all the landscapers are coming in to grab themselves breakfast, lunch, water, whatever. And most of them are Mexican and most of them are the same size, which is very small. And so one day I came home and I had to Google what's the average penis size in Mexico. And apparently they're hung like horses.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's like a tripod situation. Like they're short, but they got big dicks. This is, by the way, statistics I read on the internet, not like me being racist.
All right, wait. I believe
I read on the internet.
What it said was on average, Mexico had a longer penis than the United States. Now,
yeah, but
is that in relation to body size, or I don't know. I don't know, but you didn't look that up and said yes. They hung like horse. Now I'm just trying to clarify.
The size that they had was very big. What is this spot? What is it? First of all, centimeters. What the kind of craziness is that?
It's world. It's a world. World.
You know what that means? It means
standard for.
You know what that means? The fact that it's not written in inches is that it wasn't Americans that ran that test, because we won't measure in anything but the metric system. So hang on, there's a whole team of people that did this. A team of researchers analyzed data from nearly 90 nations. That was actually the article, but I want to look at it in graphic format.
There was an interesting fact on there.
What's that?
If you zap a penis with AM radio waves, it will cure erectile dysfunction.
Did you say really?
Yeah, it was on there. Yeah.
Cool. All right, something to know. So in the world, you want a big dick? Go to Ecuador. Cameroon being number 2. We'll have to look and see where Liberia and Morocco are, guys. So Bolivia, Sudan, Haiti, Senegal. So we're talking 6.9 inches in Ecuador is the average size, and down in the United States it's 5.35.
Look at Canada coming in with 6.1.
Yeah, and Egypt 6.18, not far from our friends, if I'm not mistaken.
Egypt is on the continent of Africa. Africa is very big, however.
Yeah, but I thought that they were all like northern Africa.
It's northeast Africa. They're in northwest Africa.
I don't even know my way around Florida. You can't expect me to find my way around the world. Tracy's got something to say.
All right. So she said I was good at reading your mind or your thoughts. And then I don't know about that, but they seem to work well. I feel most Mexican families I know are very large.
That's true. Well, and the spicy people much like myself.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
less spicy than others. We're horny as fuck.
They like the
We're very passionate people. That's why we get so upset about everything.
I thought that was just because you were a Capricorn or something.
I'm not a Capricorn. You don't even know my sign?
I know your sign.
What's my sign?
It's Cancer.
Yes, Cancer. Cancer.
Let me
'Cause you
check
know
you.
Cancer.
Let me check you for lumps.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking loaded with lumps. When was the last time I went to a doctor? They're like, yeah, we want you to get an ultrasound of your thyroid. Not doing that. But if anybody wants to give me a breast exam, come on over. So Canada is doing great, better than the United States. Zimbabwe, Georgia,
We're 60. We're
Paraguay,
60th.
Chad, Italy. We are 60th. But
How do they know this? They don't measure
have beat
everybody.
The UK.
They don't measure
The crucial
everybody.
point is that we beat the UK. So
Not crucial. It's
It's
not a war. It's not a contest.
So, breaking away from the British and their tyrannical reign made our dicks grow. That means when you stand up and fight for what's right, when you have integrity, when you fight the man, your dick grows. What do you think about that?
Also, when you listen to the song "Fight the Power," might help.
Hang on, I'm gonna look up. Oh, can you do it by country? All right, so
it's alphabetical. You can alphabet. Why are you doing
nobody in Liberia.
Nobody. It's yeah. They don't want to brag in Liberia.
I'm not
They're
trying to.
just kind of chilling out. Nobody wants to brag.
Roland, I'm not telling you to measure your penis and mail it to these people, but if you could, it would help their data a little bit. Maybe get like a bunch of your friends together and measure
And
it
have a circle
and mail it. Don't do that. And mailed it to the world data info /average-penis size.php. These people work very hard on this world data.info.
Yeah, that looks
and
legit.
You're gonna send them no, I just read it from somebody else too. Okay, so
Who's
Morocco.
the last? Who's
Morocco either. You
Morocco,
guys could help them complete the data on this worksheet because everybody else on this
Maybe
podcast.
that's what we'll do is help the world.
Oh wait, Todd's Canadian.
Oh, good for you, Todd. All right.
Todd,
What, coming in at like 16th
that means you
or
have a
something?
bigger dick than almost every man here.
Everybody. I was born near Canada. Maybe that helps.
Do you think your dick's colder if you live in a cold? No, because it seems like all the hot countries they have bigger ones.
I think it's the maple syrup. There's something in the maple syrup that.
The smallest ones.
No, give me the smallest. I want to know the smallest. And like
Cambodia.
Is it Iceland?
Somebody's gonna have to tell me what a centimeter is, but 10.4 centimeters. So you should just tell people your dick size in centimeters. That's what you do. Americans, here's your chance. Use centimeters. If you're going to talk about your dick size, say how many centimeters it is. It's not gigantic. You could use millimeters. Nobody will know what the fuck you're talking about.
But there's a thing.
What?
Body size and then percentage of height. I don't know. We need a math.
So they're saying relative to their bodies.
So what was the millimeters?
Cambodia is 10.04 centimeters.
That's 3.9 inches for you guys playing at home.
Oh God! Don't ever go to Cambodia unless you want to take it in the pooper. Then I recommend Cambodia. Myanmar, Myanmar. There are also small. Philippines. That makes me sad because I know a really attractive Filipino. Sri Lanka, not so
Mongolia.
good. Hong Kong.
You would think Mongolians would be like, these warriors.
Hong Kong, not so much. Bangladesh, not so much. Bangladesh is the poorest country in the world.
Really?
I had one of my favorite economics. Actually, I loved all of my economics professors, but this professor was the first person I'd ever met from Bangladesh. He was a very nice man.
He's Bangladeshi.
Yes.
That's what he is.
Which is actually hilarious because my grandmother met my friend Prash. And Prash, she's short, tall. Prash is pretty tall. And like 6, maybe 5'11". And she looks up at it and she goes, Prash, you're the first Indian I've ever met in my life. So my grandmother's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are those dot things? To Prash, what are those dot things that women put on their foreheads? It's called a bindi. And so my grandmother had to be schooled. And Prash is like, I don't know. I think it's if like they're a good wife because he's so American.
They didn't have foreign people back in their day. Apparently.
I picked that motherfucker up at the airport on his way back from India, and he's like, where are we going for steak? Although I think since he got married, he's a vegetarian now because he gave me a bunch of grief about eating cows recently. And it wasn't about like the vegetarian or the Hindu like cow worship, which I don't really fully understand, so don't quote me on that. But he, because of the carbon dioxide emitted by the cows.
I think the feeling behind the cow.
He commutes to work every day.
The cow is the mother. It gives the milk. It gives, it provides. So, you don't go killing people's mother, do you? and eating them.
I tried to kill my grandmother.
Well, you would know.
But what I will say is that my grandmother got her cancer diagnosis.
Yeah.
Her like 8th cancer diagnosis. And they said, she'd had breast in 76 and uterine, lung, thyroid, you name it. So finally she's got the liver cancer, which was not fun. And, the doctor had come in and talked to us. And he leaves. And I look at my grandmother and I go, she tells me, that she looks at my grandfather. And I like the fact that I was there for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
She looked at my grandfather and she said to him, well, we had some good times. And they held hands and it was the sweetest thing. It was just so sweet. They were just like, no, my grandfather, he goes, we had some good times. And she said, yes, we did. And and shortly after that, I decided that I wanted to have exactly what my grandparents had, which was my grandmother, by the way, constantly saying, fuck you, Ron, with her little crooked fingers and being the brains of the operation, but her being completely physically limited and him being such a grouch that as a child, I called him Grumpy. So when my grandmother was, stop burping salami.
Sorry.
Go in the house and have a
dinner.
Oh my God.
What do you want
Not
me to
going to
do?
be any sex tonight. I'm going to pull out Tracy's dog. I might even get her actual dog and a jar of peanut butter. I think if I put peanut butter on my
You're allergic to peanut butter.
Yeah, so I was going to wonder if I put it on my parts, is it going to cause problems? I'm not going to do that just in case. I'll use sun butter.
Almond
Thank
butter,
you.
yeah. So, all right, can I just put a plug for a favorite of mine? Once Again Nut Butters, organic nut butters from Nunday, New York.
Okay, cool. We'll do our sponsorships later in the show.
Yeah, I'm going to contact them, see if I can,
we're going to
like,
start
they don't have to
contacting
pay
people.
me. Just send me a jar of peanut butter.
We have a terribly inappropriate podcast, and we would like to plug your product.
Yeah, because people might like to put it on their vagina, and then have a dog lick it off. So we're going to promote your nut butters because they're organic and probably better for your nether regions.
Okay. Trace says, I love that. And I don't think it's the nut butter on your nether regions that it's loved. She loves my little grandparents' little moment. Well, it gets better. So, so my grandmother, so I had to go for a job interview in New York. I actually had a date while I was there and I had pneumonia. I came home on the megabus after I spilled.
On the megabus.
I spilled my, I was too sick to drive. I got a hot cider from Starbucks and spilled it all over the fucking megabus. And I was in the second story. So bad. Anyway,
that's why those things kept catching fire. And then on my way home,
I'm like, I am sick, and he's like, "You're not sick." I'm like, "I think I need to go home." He's like, "You're not sick," and at least he got me to like the bus stop because I didn't even know my name at that point. And so, some Indian guy, I don't even remember his name. And,
was this the interview or the date?
The date. The interview was with Mick.
Oh,
Mick Griffin, and it was the day of the Manhattan Marathon, which is why I couldn't get into the city easier. So, I go to leave. I couldn't even get a hotel. There was nothing available. I go to leave, and although I know people in New York, I get home, and I'm sick for like 2 more days that I can't even like lift my head. I can't even open my eyes. I called to talk to my grandmother like 3 or 4 times in there, but I'm so sick that I'm like, have Graham call me, have her call me. Finally, I'm like, why haven't I talked to my grandmother in 4 days? Put her on the fucking phone. At this point, she's catatonic. They've just been not telling me.
They didn't tell you.
So I went and hung out with her, and so I would go over like my aunts, who fucking suck, by the way. And my grandmother, by the way, warned me about them before she died. She's like, watch her. They will take things. And they did.
Just to clarify, the megabus is
it's like the Chinese
New York
bus,
shuttle.
But it's 2 stories and it has Wi-Fi. So the Fenghua
bus
was
one. The megabus was another.
Not a friend, an acquaintance, someone that I used to know, and not in a good way. Pissed in a Gatorade on the megabus. Still had to pee. Jumped in. This was on the Chinese bus. Filled it again. They had unlicensed drivers driving at one point.
Right.
And then there's the 5-star bus, and then the megabus is like the nice one. And it has Wi-Fi. And so what is megabucks? And then we're not going to bring that one up, Donna. That's not cool. And so he was not a good person. But so I get back and I'm there. So I would go over with my grandmother and I would just talk to her and I would read magazine articles to her and stuff while my aunts in the corner with their black veils on mourning her death while she's still alive. And so I would take my grandfather for walks, and my grandfather told me the story of how we met my grandmother. He said,
I'm laughing because I just realized the connection between this.
So my grandfather looked at my grandmother and said, or he had never met her before, and he pulled up to this house and saw her sitting there on the steps, and she had a big wide brim hat on, and she loved hats, and he said, "This is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I have to marry her." And I said, I wanted that. And here's the thing. My grandmother was like completely physically decrepit by the end. My grandfather was losing his fucking marbles and grouchy as shit. And she would make him lists, and he would begrudgingly do things on the list. And they had their little things they did together. And they remind me of a couple that I know, because that's pretty much what happened with us.
But you neglected to mention.
Oh, the fact that my grandparents are cousins? That's the one thing Doug and I do not have in common with my grandparents.
Never, yeah.
We are not cousins. So yes, in fact, my grandfather and my step grandmother were cousins. First fucking cousins. And they would probably be so pissed at me if I told that fucking story. But that's what they get for dying and leaving me alone with unloved.
They loved each other
one to hang out
and they
with.
took care of each other. And yeah.
I did my best to help my grandparents. I used to pay for my grandmother's medicine, even though I was a single mom with 4 kids, barely making it on my own. And I would borrow money to give to my grandmother, and then I would pay it back on Friday when I got paid. Like I barely had enough money to make it to payday, and that's how I would do it. And then and of course everybody knows the story about how my grandmother didn't know if she'd ever had an orgasm, and so my last words to my dying grandmother were, "Grandma, I don't know what's more upsetting, the fact that you're all dying and shit, or the fact that you've never had an orgasm. I feel like I should reach down there and take care of it for you." By the way, I totally forgot something. I had bought her, remember I bought the vibrator that was in the candy container? That's a whole other podcast. Watch it. It's hilarious. I bought a sponge that vibrated, and she took it from my house. Like, it was like a bath sponge, like a round bath sponge, and it had a vibrator inside that vibrated. But like, my grandmother just thought of it as like a handy washing device.
Oh, look at this.
Or did she? Maybe she just didn't want my Oh my God.
Wah, wah. Well, she could have.
Holy shit. I think Grandma did have an orgasm.
If she had known, she would have got away with the Lifesaver candy vibrator. But your goddamn cousin ruined that surprise. Surprise.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. My grandmother, I had given my grandmother, I'm going to give you the shortest version of it possible. My grandmother didn't know if she had an orgasm. That's a whole story. I bought my grandmother a vibrator. It was in a box that looked like candy. I said to her, "Grandma, I put some candy in your bag for your trip," and I left. My kids wanted candy. I said, "No, you can't have any sugar-free. I'll get you some candy." So my cousin and my uncle are there, and my cousin wants something sweet to eat. My grandmother's like, "Oh, I don't have anything." She goes, "Oh, wait. Stacy brought me some candy." And she opens it up in her bag, and she's like, "What is this?" My cousin and my uncle are dying laughing so much that they can't explain it to her. And I get an angry phone call from my grandfather. I've gotten 2 angry phone calls from my grandfather in my life, and that was one of them.
I think it would have been funnier if she was on the trip. "Oh, I've got candy," and she hands a Lifesaver to the priest that's sitting next to her.
No, it was like a little vibrator. So it wouldn't. Yeah. So anyway, my grandparents were cousins, and that's what happened.
Well, you would think that a cousin,
and I'm glad you're laughing.
And since they're family, like, you would think he would have an easier time getting her off. I don't know.
Well, it's actually funny. They say that from a developmental standpoint, the reason why teenagers rebel is so that they go away from home and don't intermarry with their families. So
basically, you piss everybody off so much that they send you out into the wilderness.
No, can I tell you something? So I have a brother who's given up for adoption. He's slightly younger than I am, and I've never met him. I found out about him when I was like 17. I don't know his name. I would love to find him. I've tried to find him. That's why I'm on 23andMe, even though I don't like giving people my
name is Raul
DNA.
De Benedictus. I found him. Here he is.
This podcast is not that exciting. In any case, when I was dating, I was like full on like stressed. I'm like, I can't. That's why I only date guys that are older than me, because I didn't want to make the mistake of sleeping with my brother.
That's very interesting.
I mean, imagine. I'm like, I would meet people and I'd be like, "So are you adopted?" Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, there's a lot of people that I've met, like Muck Sticky for a minute there. I was like, "Is Muck Sticky adopted?" I wish Muck Sticky was my brother. Yeah. His family seems so nice. Shout out to Muck Sticky and his crew.
I did find, however, the mystery picture of the flamingos.
Yeah, they can see that.
There's no telling.
By the way, they can see the entire bottom of your screen when you do that. And there's that picture right there.
Yeah, don't show that.
Yeah,
It
but
was
you
funny.
did
The
show
one
it.
neck. No, I didn't show that. No, you know.
No, but
see
you
that.
well, you took the picture you
But the
showed
one,
had those
the
in
one
the bottom.
next to the picture that I showed was
Find it again.
was even funnier.
But they can't see it when you're showing them on your phone. It's a shitty picture.
I
on
had
your
that,
phone.
and then it was that.
Okay, well,
which is very funny.
Thank God for
No,
Donnie.
no,
But
no,
I just
whatever.
want to look at the fucking the flamingos.
There you go. You can't really tell because they were pretty high.
These are flamingos, not spoonbills. I don't know.
I don't know. It could be. Could be.
I don't know. The nose does seem like it's pointing down like a spoonbill.
So, Tracy is laughing her ass off yet again. That story gets better every time you hear it, but the vibrating sponge is hysterical.
I had forgotten about it till tonight.
That's craziness. David Doughton says mod test.
He means mostest. He thinks he loves me the mostest.
Then he writes
you
mostest.
Have not. Did you suck 5 dicks? No.
You don't know. You don't know how. You don't know how many dicks that guy
has
sucked today.
Do you or do he told me 3.4? Do you or do you not have to move?
3.4.
If
is
you love
also
me
the
and you have
length
to move,
of,
you move to Florida. We could buy a piece of land and build a family compound.
We're not family,
Dude,
Dave. I'm sorry.
I don't. You might not be, but I am, and I love his sister. And
I don't know his sister.
Do you
she will have to go through
family that wants to even drive to fucking meet us at the
process.
goddamn Olive Garden? No,
not really.
So, did you even like invite your nieces? No, we only invited your brothers.
Oh, Dave says
did you
only had 5 ducks today, or dicks? Sorry, 5 dicks today.
Did you tell Charles we were going home?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, we didn't get invited to weddings, so we're like, fuck everybody. See if we're gonna buy you some Olive Garden dinner.
We're I will say this.
No ever-ending breadsticks for you, motherfucker.
Although I will tell you something about the Olive Garden. The Olive Garden, I must have signed up. I used to take the boys there. You must have signed up for something because it's all about the rewards points or whatever. I just got, because my birthday's coming up in a couple weeks, I got a free appetizer for my birthday.
We had a free app from Ford's Garage before. You should sign up for Ford's now, and then we'll get a free app
that'd
from
be
Ford's.
good. That'd be good.
All right.
I'll do it right now.
Okay, so I had more podcast stuff. My laptop's slowly dying, so I might not be able to pull up anything that I wanted to.
Please.
Oh, so some of the lines from People Under the Stairs. By the way, People Under the Stairs is a horror movie that Dave could probably speak to. Dave, what's your review of People Under the Stairs? How do you feel about it? Wes Craven.
If you can type, because you've had 2 typos already, Dave.
Lots of people have typos, especially when they're baked, and it's a
he's all kinds of baked.
Friday
it's
night.
9 o'clock
He's
on a Friday.
baked and he's drunk with any luck.
Well, he deserved.
And he's probably
his wild
some
night.
girl he talked to on OK Cupid for 5 minutes today, blowing him as we speak. I can't even. He gets puss thrown at him left and right.
It's good work if you can get it, Dave.
So, here's my question: do we like that movie or not? And he says, "Yep, we like that movie." Okay.
Oh no! Look at the one above it.
Oh, he says sucked.
Sucked. No, sucked.
Dave does not enjoy the People Under Stairs. I love Wes Craven.
Such
twisted mind. I do. Tracy loves him, and Dave says thanks. So People Under the Stairs. The premise is that they have these rich slumlords that are kicking them out of their house, and the mother has pneumonia and she's going to die, and they can't afford the medicine, and the building's clearly has mold. Like it was like I don't even know how to describe it. It was just a big old mold spore, the whole building. So they go to this rich people's house, and it's like a beautiful house, but it's all like bars on it, and like doesn't look like it's very well upkept on the outside, and on the inside it's like a goddamn
like wood lath.
Like everywhere. It's like how do you described it as Home Alone? It had like Home Alone vibes in terms of security, like gates and shit that sealed off and metal doors and whatnot. And so as the film goes on, you find out that the people that call themselves mommy and daddy are actually brother and sister that are married to each other and keep having children.
Their mother and father with sister and brother, Donna.
And what they found out was that boys had a tendency to talk back and whatnot, or be misbehaving. So what they would do with their boys is, cut their tongues off or gouge their eyes out or various things, hear, no, see, no evil. Gouge their eyes out, gouge their ears out, whatever they felt like doing. And then they would throw them in the basement. And there was 20 of them down there, or however many there were. And then there was the little girl, and the little girl, Rayanne from My So-Called Life, is like a little princess, but she's terrified of getting beaten. And they would occasionally beat her. And so they would say, don't leave any marks. Don't get anything on her face. Right. And so the one, was friends with this one that lived in the wall. And this guy's been in a bunch of movies. I can picture him. I don't remember his name, but he's been in everything.
That's helpful. He's been in all movies.
Pull up IMDb. People Under the Stairs. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I can't think of what he's been in right now. So there's one that lives in the wall, and she gives it to them, and the kid goes and breaks in with this criminal friend of his, which was played by the Michael whatever. Who's the black guy?
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames and the little kid break in. This guy, Sean Whalen, is Roach. Sean Whalen was in That Thing You Do. He was in Twister. He was in Never Been Kissed.
Why don't you show people the photo?
He's not he's also in Ghost. I totally forgot about that. This guy, which is not a picture that you would know him from. That guy. I think everybody knows this guy. Like, he's been in everything.
He looks like one of the McBoyles.
And I hate to ever put a phone up on the screen and bring things up, but we're terrible at this. Dave says old horrors. Yeah.
He was on Friends.
I like the 80s shit. Why am I scratching my armpits?
I don't know.
Well, because I'm itchy. I don't like to bring things up on the phone. That's unprofessional, but we just don't have our act together as people. We really need to get better at this podcasting thing. We need a handler, Trace. I realize that you're busy with like moving across the country and whatnot and a new job. But there were two lines that so in any case, the people find out that the kids snuck into the building and the guy snuck into the building and one of the guys gets killed. Maybe two of the guys get killed, but the kid gets out and he gets the money and the children are free.
Spoiler alert.
And they go outside for the first time and they basically look like teenagers today who've never been outside because they're on their devices inside all the time. So there were two lines in the movie that I found to be delightful. And one of them was, and maybe the president is going to make me Secretary of Pussy.
Again, good work if you can get it.
And the other one was too old to get tit, too young to get ass. I like that one too. Are you ever too old to get tit?
Or ass?
No,
you can be definitely too young for ass.
But too old for
tit you get like when you're born.
Do you know in some countries they like nurse off their grandmothers? No, seriously. They'd be like, I would like some milk, Grandma. And she would be like, oh, come here, son of boy. Let my horse up my titty.
Well, maybe if your grandmother breastfed your kids, then she would have had an orgasm.
Maybe, but not many women. I'm one of the rare exceptions can come from nipple stimulation. I was doing an impression of these grandmothers. Oh, come here, son of boy. I got the milk for you, but Granny can't hold it for so long. You're going to have to do it. My arthritis is acting up.
The granny makes you cookies and gives you milk.
Careful, sonny boy. It might have some Bengay on there. You might have a cooling sensation
in your mouth.
That's what you need right now, salami bread.
You gave me your salami.
You gave me the salami in the first place, and I was like, I'm not eating this, and gave it to you, not realizing.
Oh, and you know what else we had too with the salami? This lovely Sartori garlic and herb cheese. It was amazing.
The cheese was awesome, but you're not burping cheese. You're burping, I don't know.
So cookies sound good. Yeah, cookies do sound good. I've been
the
craving
munchies are kicking in right now. All I have wanted lately is fucking wedding cake. Like
wedding cake.
Publix makes actually really good like cake that tastes like wedding cake, but it's $27 and we don't need an entire cake. I shouldn't have any cake. But
you know what we could do is have the piece like at a wedding and then freeze it for a year from now. Which never works.
I would like to say that I think that that this Israeli-Palestinian conflict, I think our government uses any global conflicts to their benefit. And I think that there are people that use negative events in society to their benefit. And like, I have no problem with someone solving a societal problem and making money from it. Like people that were selling masks during COVID, they were selling cute masks or whatever. Although I didn't agree with the whole masking of it all, I had no problem with people selling, masks for $5-10. I don't have an issue with that. What I do have a problem with is say somebody has a bunch of medical supplies that they sell, they have stocked up and trying to sell them on the internet for black market prices. Yeah. That's what I have a problem with. And so it's for me, I just want, everybody to be mindful of the, of the advertising that's occurring right now in the world, because they really want to pull on your heartstrings. That's like one of the top things that they try to teach people to do in sales, pull at their heartstrings, especially MLMs, by the way. They want it like they literally teach people how to guilt you. That's not how you sell. I was a top performer my entire life. It's not how you sell. You sell by being honest with people. And then there'll be repeat business. Because if you lie to someone once, they're never going to do business with you again. They're certainly not going to recommend you business. You won't have a career. You'll have a transaction. Fuck that. So I don't know. It's just something I thought of. And then I was thinking about uses for the air tags. Because Trace was looking for something the other day. I'm like, oh, when you go, oh, this was what it was. When we drove down, we put an air tag in the Volvo.
Which was being shipped.
We put one with your expensive guitar.
Yeah.
And we put one
in my butt.
I think that was it. And I told Tracy, I said, make your box that's like the
go-to box.
Like the go-to box, the box you need the night you get there that's got like a screwdriver, paper towels, toilet paper,
flashlight,
hand soap, that kind of thing. Yeah. And I said, put an air tag in there so that when you get to the house, you can just go.
But it doesn't tell you what room it's in or anything.
No,
like
but
it'll just tell you where it is.
But it makes a beeping noise.
So put it on top. Don't wrap it in a blanket and then put it in the emergency box.
I think she's intelligent enough to figure that out.
Well, she's friends with you, so how?
Oh my God, she was friends with you first.
Oh.
Well,
we were forced together.
You didn't even know who she was.
No, I know.
By the
who
way,
she
that
is.
plant is going to get too big for its thing soon. We're going to have to plant it. And
it's like a ship in the bottle.
And I think the plant in the bedroom needs to get watered desperately.
Okay.
Okay. So Trace says freeze it. Yeah. What is she talking about freezing?
The wedding cake. Buy the cake, freeze the rest for
I don't believe in that shit. I want to eat the whole cake and nothing but the cake. If I'm not going to eat it, I'm going to sit on it. I really want to sit on a cake. I feel like that would be fun.
Why you sit on a cake?
I want to sit on a cake and like swirl around in it. What?
I can't with you.
Can you think of any other uses for air tags? Oh, people put them in their kids' shoes.
I think
kids' backpack. Kids' backpack is brilliant.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Kids' shoes is a good one. Although,
hey,
is there radiation?
I never lost a kid in the supermarket.
Are you going to get 9 kinds of tumors if you have this thing? I don't know. But the parents are like literally removing the insoles from their kids' shoes and mounting air tags in them. I think that's pretty smart.
It's not a bad
It's not
idea.
so they don't lose the shoes, so they don't lose the kid.
Right.
But the problem,
although now kidnappers are going to hear this and now they're going to take the kid's shoes
here's
off. And
part of the problem because there was a security issue. Apple updated the firmware so that all of them now, if an air tag follows me long enough, I'll get an alert that an air tag is following me.
Tom writes he needs an air tag for his mind. That's some heavy shit because you're gonna lose it.
Once you win the lottery, you can sign and sit and spin on any cake you want. I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be a bubble room cake.
Bubble room cakes are delish.
I feel like I'd sit on the fucking.
When you come and visit us, we'll get them bubble room cake for you.
We're not sitting on it at $10 a slice, but let me just tell you something right now. It's worth every penny.
Well, they have 2 that are my
the fruit cake.
faves.
I feel like I would sit and spin on the fruit cake.
On the fruit cake.
I haven't even had all the cakes.
They have the Christmas cake, which is the white coconut like beauty thing, and then they have this orange cake that's phenomenal as well. Yeah, they just do good, but they're still closed from Ian. They're building.
Yes, but you can get their cake at Boop's next door. They're currently open.
Boops.
The Green Flash is open again.
Yeah.
The cakes, the desserts menu is ridiculous. I'm gonna read.
She's gonna read from the and yeah. So when you eat there, they bring you this big platter with a slice of each kind of cake that they make every day and slice and put it on.
Now I may need to get this. The Very Moist Chocolate.
Yeah.
Is moist chocolate cake layered with chocolate fudge toffee pecan crunch icing.
That does not sound terrible.
They have a key lime pie. They have a butter crunch ice cream pie. Vanilla ice cream blended with Butterfinger candy bars on a crushed Oreo crust, topped with chocolate butter, brickle sauce, finished with whipped cream and fresh strawberries. I can't have that. Butterfinger has peanuts.
This is the one right here.
White Christmas, light and fluffy white cake with toasted slivered almonds, layered and covered with homemade whipped cream, hand packed with coconut and topped with white chocolate shavings. It's so light and delicate and delightful. If I were going to,
but a man likes it too.
If you're going to get married, that's a great cake.
It's a very good cake.
Especially because like that. Don't you think that the coconuts look kind of like feathers?
They do. It's like this like cartoon character of a piece of cake.
It's beautiful.
Why don't you tell them about the Orange Crunch?
Orange Crunch. See, I go between the White Christmas and the Orange Crunch. right now I'm wishing that you could get a tasting where they brought you one of each, like a little bite of each cake.
I got my spine. I got my orange crunch.
I don't even know what that means.
That's an REM song.
I remember that. Was that a gunshot?
Yeah, probably.
Cool. A moist yellow cake layered on almond brown sugar crunch and covered with orange cream cheese ice cream. It's a truly an award-winning cake. Doug found a recipe. I found a recipe online. Doug made it. The only problem with the recipe online is that the ingredients are obscure, and it's a doctored cake recipe, but the ingredients are obscure, like almond extract. So you end up having to buy stuff.
Orange extract, which you used to be able to get in the store, but now you can't get in the store. You get 50 million kinds of whatever, but they don't carry a basic almond extract.
It's bonkers. They're making all their money on prepared foods.
So then red velvet.
Yeah, red velvet with a pecan cream cheese icing, New York style cheesecake, the French chocolate torte, 3 layers of moist chocolate cake, 2 layers of fresh whipped cream with chocolate shavings polka dotted with strawberries, topped with more whipped cream, and then finished with chocolate dipped strawberry. The tropical breeze is a mandarin. What are you doing?
I'm dipping the thing in the chocolate and putting on the cake.
Tropical breeze, a mandarin orange cake with rich pineapple cream cheese icing. Why have we not had that? And topped with an assortment of fresh tropical fruit. And then there's a Jamaican rum cake, which is buttery pound cake soaked in dark Jamaican rum with chocolate mousse center and pecan rum glaze.
The thing about that one is it's good, but you know what? You want more rum. You want a rum ham.
You can just order rum. I will say the Bubble Room, and it'll be interesting to see how they look after Ian, but they have like all these old collectibles, old Hollywood stuff.
Head to toe. Like
they had pulled everything out for the most part before the hurricane. So hopefully they're okay in terms of memorabilia, but the building was destroyed. I was there this week. They were working on the roof.
Oh, good. I will say this, that they're luckier than the Mad Hatter restaurant, which is gone after Ian. The building is just gone. The restaurant owners learned that their place of business was gone by seeing a Google map satellite image of the island, and they zoom in and gone.
I was just thinking that it would be cool to take Sofa and Macy to the Bubble Room, but I realized I don't know that they've ever really spent that much time in a restaurant.
You don't want to take kids to a restaurant.
I used to
there's all screaming.
I took my kids to every restaurant. Probably because what does a nice Portuguese girl make for dinner? Reservations. But my kids ate tapas, they ate sushi, they ate Indian. They were adventurous. They went to Brazilian barbecue. They were adventurous eaters. The best one was the barbecue where they bring you meat all night long, different kinds of meat. There's a buffet. There's a buffet, and then they bring you all the meat. Meat.
Have you ever been to a meat fest?
And she kept up all fucking night long. She must have been 6 years old. It was crazy. Have you ever done that? Is it called
a meat fest? No, I've never been to a meat fest.
What's it called? We should do that with the boys.
I think I've been to a meat raffle.
Brazilian barbecue.
My brother won an 18-pound lobster at a meat raffle, and we got home. We didn't have anything big enough to cook it in. So,
is that what it's called? Is it called Brazilian?
Yeah, it's like a Brazilian barbecue thing. I don't know what your meat fest was, but whatever.
I don't know, but I did it in New York City, and they're like, "Here's the goat."
Was this on the date with the Indian guy?
No, this was a trade show. They had lamb and steak and every pork and pork belly, and they tried the early ones or the cheap ones, and they try to describe them in a way that you're load me up. No, hold on till the
for the good stuff. Expensive.
Tiny little bite. Maybe have a bite of everything. Meat. Yeah, you definitely want to have the whale meat, and you have to say yes or no. You have a little card on your spot. They
should do that for
but that would be a cool
speed dating. Yes or no?
That's a cool thing to do with friends, a big group of people. That's
Helen,
really fun.
What did you think of the meat?
I love eating good food with people and talking about the food, especially if it's people that you're friendly enough with that you can give each other a bite and
not giving anybody a bite. I'm eating this food.
Well,
myself.
Me and Zach, whenever we eat together, we try each other's food.
I don't partake in your guys' meat swap.
I think that's how I got COVID the first time.
He had COVID one day, and
I shared tater tots. We split tater tots out of the same pan. But I don't know. I didn't have really any symptoms. My doctor said I wouldn't know because
my doctor said take Mylanta.
Your doctor is my doctor, you lunatic. Well, neither of us really have a doctor anymore. What? Why are you saying? All right, is it time?
Can we wrap this up? I gotta pee.
Oh, it's 9:20. Okay. Well,
Talking
it
about
is called Brazilian barbecue. Okay,
meat.
Tracy, I need to find a Brazilian bar.
meat.
I do
Oscar
enjoy
Madison,
food
meat.
form. It is yummy. Did her
Curtis
hair
Smith
get
is here.
stuck in the weed whacker? Who's Curtis Smith?
I think he's making fun of your hair.
I understand that, but who is Curtis Smith?
I know there's a Curtis Smith in the Tears for Fears, but I don't think that's this one.
Let's check.
I
It
don't
might
know. I
have.
don't know,
It very
Kurt.
well may have been stuck in a weed whacker. As you may notice,
It's
it is a whole rope situation.
it's dreads. She
So
believes that
it
she is
does,
reincarnated Marcus Garvey.
It does some crazy ass shit. So, as we normally do, I would like to end tonight's podcast with our gratitude. What do you got? Are you grateful for anything? I know.
That is Friday.
I know. I'm grateful for everybody who watches the podcast,
Yes.
especially our new friend,
Curtis.
Randall,
Osama. Boom.
and of course the usual suspects we love so much: Tracy, Tom, and Todd. Donna.
Yeah.
Was there anybody? Dave, of course. Dave always pops in.
Yeah,
So not always enough he pops in, but we're so happy
Some
that
good
all of you
folks
guys, we
tonight.
appreciate you so much and all that you do to make the world a crazy place. I am thankful that I felt a little bit better. I'm thankful that we have a positive impact on our neighborhood, even if we are the old people on the nice old people.
We are the nice old people.
Oh, those nice old
We're
people.
helping these
Oh,
kids
you
get
know
an
those
education.
nice old people? Nice old people. Curtis loves Tears for Fears. Tracy says, I went to the
Yeah,
Brazilian
who doesn't?
barbecue and it was good. And we did have the red and green chip to turn.
Randall is still hanging in there.
Tracy says,
Hope you have a good weekend.
Fogo de Chico is in Florida off I Drive. That didn't sound like English. But Florida's a very big state, so I need something that's in like Fort Myers. Randall says, thanks so much. No, thank you. Tell your friends. We want to have a whole conversation. Actually, you can get like a bunch of your friends together. We'll have you guys on the podcast and we can talk about what it's like to live in Liberia. We'll do it like
fantastic.
We can bring you on like with video and you'll be able to talk just like we can. Unless you start saying crazy stuff.
I was right. The half of Tears for Fears, the guy's name is Kurt Smith, and the other one is Roland Orzabal. Very talented gentleman.
Oh, well.
So now we sort of know him through a namesake.
So I still don't know who Curtis Smith is. I don't
No,
know
we
him.
don't, but we welcome you.
Is that him right there? No, that's Smith Curtis.
Smith Curtis.
I don't know, but
she's Googling you.
Curtis
Make sure you belong.
It's nice to meet you. And so I'm thankful that I get to have fun with my little friend again yesterday. That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we both seem to be doing a little bit better today.
Yeah, because it's this light at the end of the tunnel.
By the way, I got no sleep last night and like spent like a good 2 hours like just straight up sobbing. And so that was fun.
I worked on my music last night for like 2.5 hours and got nowhere.
In fact, he feels as if he regressed. Because why? Because my husband is too hard on himself and he self-sabotages. But I am grateful that he is working on himself and making some progress. I'm also grateful that this podcast is almost over so that you won't have to see me punch him in the fucking face.
Wow, that's not nice. I was making fun of myself, not you. However, if you must know.
Okay, well, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful
Fucker.
that you're doing better today. I'm grateful that you're going to get a good night's sleep tonight. And
I am high.
In the morning, we're going to have some breakfast fairy come and deliver.
Oh,
us
dude,
hash
no, we
browns.
ordered breakfast last week.
It was
a
not good.
fucking
We were all excited
disaster.
because there's a breakfast burritos
Anytime
to go.
all
Like
day
they bring them
omelet,
to you.
and they bring them to you, and it's all day omelet. And I kept seeing, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to order for breakfast one day when Doug's like tired or whatever. And so I ordered on Sunday, and it was just a bowl of grease. Don't do it. It's actually made by Mel's Diner. A lot of these companies are doing that now. So Perkins makes Mr. Beast burgers, and Ruby Tuesdays makes ridiculous burgers. It's just like these. They're basically marketing a product on the menu. Trey says, I'm so thankful for Silly Doug. I do enjoy you when you're silly. Randall says, it was nice listening to you guys. Thank you. And also, I'm so sorry.
And we want to hear more about you.
Are we
Randall.
saying things that
hear.
are illegal in your country? Are we going to get you in trouble with the law? Are we
Beware.
going to be on an international?
Listener, beware.
Could you imagine if we like spark some sort of international outrage because we've offended the country of Liberia?
We might be able to bring peace to the world.
I want to bring peace
nonsense.
To the world. As a matter of fact, I posted on my wall the other day on Facebook. I posted a peace symbol, and it was all the flags of the nations of the world.
Oh,
and then I got a lesson from my friend Billy saying, "Where's the pride flag?" And I said, "The pride flag is in the garage, but my poles are broken." I have flags that I fly behind my Jeep, and one of them is a pride flag, but I'm having trouble finding poles.
I heard about a guy who broke his pole at Pride.
I've heard stories of that too. If you have,
I just made that up.
if you happen to have any
Flagpoles.
flagpoles that would work for the Jeep, I have replaced mine like 6 times. I'm just looking for one that's reasonably priced. It's not going to break in half.
My wife always bending poles.
I like a bent pole is what it comes down to, and you know it.
That's
it's one of your most redeeming characteristics. What's that coming?
That's the same one.
What's that?
Randall.
Oh, okay. I'm also thankful that you're gonna make me a snack when we get inside. And I'm thankful that we're gonna have fun this weekend. We're gonna go watch the Bills. We're gonna go watch the Bills.
We're gonna go watch the Bills beat the Patriots. However,
well, that'll be a good time.
We need to make a Costco run and a Trader Joe's run.
Because the crazy thing though is we're the few Bostonians that are Bills fans. Everybody else is from upstate New York.
Yeah. No, it's
and we're not really
strange.
We are not Bostonians.
Going to that Bills bar. It's the only time I've ever been around other Bills fans other than my immediate family. So it's so weird.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I don't give 2 shits about sports, but when the people ring the bell and they do the whistle and we say
have a kid.
First down and the kid does the cheer, it's fun.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe.
That's all you're thankful for?
I was thankful for a bunch of stuff before.
Okay, well, we'd say Tracy's comment. She says they will beat the Pats.
The Pats suck this year.
I just want everybody to have fun, but you cannot tell the Bills people that you just want everybody to have fun. They take that very seriously.
No. Yeah.
They were going to kill me, I think.
Yeah, no.
But Elvin may be sneaking back in.
Yeah, we're sneaking him in.
Cheryl, we hope to see you there.
With a big
we look
hat.
forward to seeing Mary. Thank you, Mary, to bring in the bells.
Yeah.
Mary rocks the bells. Run DMC.
She's fantastic. She brings a Tops Market bag full of all the.
She's a very sweet lady.
And those ladies that come with it are hysterical.
Oh my God, they must be like 80 and they're so sweet. One of them's her mom.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's funny because they look like every older woman in Western New York because it looks exactly like both my grandparents, my grandmothers. Looks like my aunt. All this stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy how they look that way.
Oh.
Anyways, so everybody have a good weekend.
I mean, honey, if your hair was like a little longer with a perm,
I would look just like those ladies, like Eric Clapton the other night. That's the funny thing. So all right, so have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. We'll hopefully have some hilarity to bring.
Hopefully you laughed tonight. I think there was a few laughs tonight. So
there's some good.
All right.